how exactly do you take care of your pronunciation part? Now, pronunciation scares some people away because they take it as a cosmetic foreign element of their communication, which is not true. Because in the first place, we have something called pronunciation so that there is uniformity in the manner in which we pronounce, uniformity in the way in which we produce sound. We articulate what we have. So if there are standards of expression, standards of communication, that makes it easy for everyone to communicate. So pronunciation is all about establishing common standards so that there will be better comprehensibility among the users of a particular language, any language for that matter, not just English language. Now, how do we pay attention to pronunciation? I would always say that listen to lots of quality English. You can watch movies, right? You can just watch movies and enjoy those movies. You don't have to pay any particular attention to pronunciation as such. If you make it a habit listening to quality pronunciation, quality conversation happening all around you, automatically your pronunciation will begin to get influenced. This happens naturally. And obviously you will have a problem because if everyone is pronouncing it as a table and you are pronouncing it as table, you will pass through a stage of embarrassment. You would start wondering, if I pronounce it like that, what would people think about me? Am I acting like a different person? Am I imitating the West? You don't have to. We all pass through such a stage because we are not native speakers. So obviously you will have to model yourself on someone. You will have to model yourself on a faculty member. Maybe you model yourself on a speaker on TV or an anchor on a TV program, whatever. And gradually, listening to lots of quality English of that kind, you would begin to articulate words, speak in such a way that your English would align with their kind of English. And when that begins to happen, you are beginning to get influenced by them unknowingly. This becomes important. On the other way, you have the academic manner of doing it. You check the pronunciation. If you are such an ardent student of pronunciation, obviously, if you have the habit of opening up a dictionary and checking meaning, it's recommended you also check how the word is pronounced. Now it's so easy, you can just Google and the pronunciation would come up over there. And try to approximate. I'm not talking about perfection, we are talking about approximation. You try to get as close as possible to the official pronunciation. Even if you falter here, probably you haven't got as close as you would like to, no problem, you have time. Language development is a skill development process. You can't do it overnight, all right? You reach there little by little. Constant use becomes necessary. And for pronunciation to be improved again, you should slowly master the art of speaking slow. If you speak rapidly, you may not be able to give the necessary shape to the sounds you create. Rather than saying, one of my common examples, like if you take the word terrible, you say that I watched the movie, it was a terrible one. Terrible, you're shaping up the word inside the oral cavity in such a way that ter has got an explosive beginning, and terrible, r is shaping into r kind of a sound, and there is a dip at the end of it. It was terrible. It was terrific. You say that movie, the other movie was terrific. I watched it a number of times. So you need to go slow at it. Take your time and shape it up slowly. Anyone who is moving from a local kind of a pronunciation and accent into something which is studied and informed by native examples will have to pass through an artificial stage, a stage in which you think you are mimicking someone. That's part of the game. But it's possible if you take it slow. I would always suggest an approach which is a combination of this. One, you make some mild efforts consciously altering your pronunciation. On the other hand, you keep listening to lots of English. But more enjoyable kind of listening is you just listen. You're watching the movie and you're happy watching the movie. You're not watching it for the pronunciation, of course. You're watching it because it's a good movie. You love watching that kind of a movie. But the bonus is that lots of unconscious tips regarding how certain words are pronounced, certain expressions are shaped would reach you. That's the way I would suggest you should go for picking the right kind of pronunciation. Obviously, if you're too much conscious about pronunciation, your fluency would definitely be affected by it. So someone who is beginning to speak, you don't have to try to be so scientifically precise about pronunciation, because accuracy versus fluency, you know about it. When you try to be too accurate, perhaps your fluency element would be compromised. Try to go for a beautiful balance between these two, a practical balance between these two.